Hello and welcome here to Downington, Pennsylvania. Right here, the Lacrosse World Series Championship. Nick Kloss, Ryan Sabos here with you. And right now, we are not up to the game time yet. That'll be at 2 p.m. Right now, we are getting ready for the procession of all the teams. We'll have Lax Guy Scotty with us once we get to game time. But Ryan, it's been a really fun tournament. It all comes down to this championship game. But first off, we get to see all the teams, honor all the teams that made it here. They had to qualify to get here, and now they get to show their flag, walk out, and everyone gets to see them, and then they'll all get to sit down and watch this final game. And it's just really fun to see all of them and this experience for the young kids.
And I was going to say final game. It's going to be a good one, too. We're going to get to that in a second. But as you mentioned, fantastic, right? A great event, great 3 days now, right? We're going on day 3. Some fantastic lacrosse. And really what it is just showing and putting lacrosse on a big pedestal, putting these kids on that big pedestal, right? A great week. Played hard. They've played hard, obviously, in the weeks and months leading up to this event. But really just an opportunity just to for all the fans, all the supporters here in attendance, big round of applause to these guys because, hey, it takes a lot to get to this point, a lot of hard work. You got multiple teams that you're playing for. I'd have to imagine a lot of these guys, this isn't the only squad that they're playing for. So just a fantastic event. And these two teams, I mean, we just had them. You had two-way, I had Team 91, the Cyclones in the semifinals. Little bit of different where they each excel. We'll kind of get into it in a little bit, but welcome in Scotty here, too. I know you've been running around here the last 3 days.
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing hanging out over here at the Lacrosse World Series Championship. There's been two teams this entire weekend sticking out, or this entire tournament sticking out. And Long Island 91 has been doing their thing, and two-way has especially been doing their thing. So I'm going to be extremely excited to see what it looks like when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
Here we go.
These two teams, the two best, I'd say, offensive teams this entire tournament.
Defensive, too.
They've dominated, and they've kept about under 5 goals each goalie around 2.5 goals against average. These two teams, Scotty, you said it yesterday. You felt like these two teams were the ones that were going to push ahead and be on top in the end, and that's what they are. And also, Scotty, let's just talk about this experience for these kids. I mean, for Team 91 and two-way, they're getting the new jerseys, they're getting the fresh gear. It's definitely a time to remember.
Yeah, definitely a time to remember. You look at this game and you're like, this is the moment they're going to remember. But I look at the entire tournament as a moment they're going to remember, right? The tournament starts off with an intro ceremony on the first day. How exciting is that? These kids walk down on a red carpet. They get to take their team photos. They have parents going crazy. They've got a game show going on over there. And then they even have some PLL players, some college lacrosse coaches making some speeches. And that's a moment that separates from other tournaments here. Lacrosse World Series Championship knows how to do it and does it at a top level.
They definitely do. And Ryan, we talked about it earlier today with what this tournament has been and the players who have played in it in the past. You got Joey Spallina, Brendan O'Neill, the lacrosse names of today that were once this age playing in events like this. We could see the stars of tomorrow, the Tewaaraton winners of tomorrow right here.
Well, I've been telling people just in the lead up, me coming to this event, it's, hey, some of these kids, we're going to see them in 3-4 years. I know I work heavily up in northern Jersey, so teams like Bosco, look, I'm thinking like Westfield, Del Barton, and teams in some Connecticut. We were talking New Canaan, Fairfield Prep, Long Island even, some of the massive programs out there, Garden City, Manhasset. I'm not saying them all. I'm putting them all at a disadvantage here, but certainly we're going to, 4 years from now when these guys are all going to be juniors coming on their senior years, these are going to be the guys excelling and really carrying the high school lacrosse, if you want to say, just the play forward. And then, 2 years after that, we'll probably be seeing these guys go into some top Division I programs across the country.
Your semifinal was Team 91 Long Island going against Long Island Express, and they were saying these kids know each other. They went to school. That was the future of Chaminade and St. Anthony's in these big schools. So very exciting. We're seeing the procession start right now. So we will step aside, let you enjoy that, the sounds of the tournament. But we got Team 91 and two-way coming up in the Lacrosse World Series Championship Final. Ryan Olsebos, Lax Guy Scotty, I'm Nick Kloss. Tune in at 2 p.m. and stay with us for the championship game.
Lacrosse Club led by Shane Positive. Carolina Gold led by Gunnar Donahue.
I'm gonna take that. Yes, I did.
Towerman led by Luke Simmons. Express North led by Captain Casey McAndrew. Led by Taylor Halls. Brady, Georgia, led by Nate Hart. Prime Time led by Gavin Mahoney.
What is this song?
Philadelphia Freedom led by Connor Buckley.
Yeah, like this.
Team Israel led by Ethan the goalie Horowitz. Duke's Elite Iverson led by Evan Muniz. Igloo Black Ice, led by Matthew Newman and Tyler Uke. BBL Shore and BBL Central, led by Tanner Minerley, as well as Jeremy Julio. That is all the teams for right now until we announce our two championship programs, two-way and Team 91 Cyclones.
Parents, we ask that we please clear the field now so we can present the captains with their plaques. Thank you very much. We are now presenting the captains with their plaques. Captains, we now invite you to come to the middle of the field to accept your captain's award.
So they all coming over this door.
Now announcing the first team competing in the final for the Lacrosse World Series Championship, two-way lacrosse.
Helmet in your right hand. Helmet in your right hand.
After a few technical difficulties, we are happy to announce Team 91 Cyclones by Captain Lucas Chung. All non-championship teams, we invite you to please take your seats as we get prepared for the performance of the national anthem. this time, we ask you to please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the Israeli, Canadian, and national anthem of the United States. And now the Canadian national anthem. And now the national anthem for the United States of America. Fans, let's have one more round of applause for each team that came out and competed this weekend. Great job and congratulations to everybody for making it. And now, without further ado, let's get going on this lacrosse championship action.
Yeah, FBI out. I'm gonna knock you out. What are you gonna do with it?
Hello and welcome back here to Downingtown, Pennsylvania. We got a lot on deck. Just one final game, the championship game here at the Lacrosse World Series Championship. I'm Nick Kloss, got Ryan Holsebos and Lax Guy Scotty here with me. It is Team 91 Long Island right there in the new clean dark blue Lacrosse World Series uniforms. They're going up against two-way from Connecticut. They will be in the white. It's new jerseys, new numbers, and a fresh start here. Champion will be crowned. Scotty, we'll start with you. You've been here the entire time. You've gotten to interact with the kids, see them enjoy this entire thing, and recap a lot of great lacrosse. Just what have been your takeaways from this last couple days of great lacrosse?
My takeaway is that there's no experience like this in the lacrosse world. Every time I get to this event, I get more and more jealous of what's going on. I mean, look at us right now. We're in a box or a booth for a lacrosse game for these kids, right? And there's a DJ for this game, there's banners, there's a crowd full of people just here to watch youth lacrosse. There's no experience like that, and this is a memory that these kids are just gonna remember for a lifetime.
And these kids have played great. Two-way and 91 have really risen and gone above and beyond. Ryan, getting to you, you had the Long Island Express Team 91 game. There was a lot of familiarity in that one.
I almost referred to it a few times. I kept trying to say Lacrosse World Series, and I would start with Long Island Lacrosse World Series because that's essentially what it was. I mean, we had, as you mentioned, two top teams from Long Island, Team 91, the Cyclones, who we'll see in a little bit, Long Island Express, and it was a little bit lopsided, but Express in the second half turned, as you were saying, Scotty, just in the conversations that we were having, it was sort of like Team 91, they get down on themselves right away. Express, they sensed it. 11-10 was the final in a game that was 9-3 at one point. So certainly a great game there, but just touching on this two-way team, I mean, I see a ton of studs. We got some leading goal scorers for this entire tournament, made up from guys on both of these two teams, two-way though specifically. And just, I guess, one more note there on Team 91. Have a lot of hardware they're trying to add to it. We'll kind of get to it as the game's moving on, but a lot of hardware over 2024 and 2025 that this 2030 group has been able to accomplish and put together.
Two-way took down Duke's Lacrosse. That was a 9-4 finish. No one's had that close game. Like Team 91 just had their first real close game test. Two-way has not had to deal with that just yet. Could be something that benefits this Long Island team, but Scotty, you've seen this Long Island team the entire time, and you really thought these two teams were on a collision course.
Yeah, I thought these teams were going to make it from the jump, but right after day one, these teams came out. Team 91 has treated this like a business trip from the introduction ceremony. They came into the introduction ceremony with suits on. They came into day one of play with a coach bus where they wouldn't be sitting outside in the hot air. They'd go back onto the coach bus and refresh, reload to be ready for the next game. Now, two-way, I'm sure, is treating this like a business trip too, and they never disappoint when they're on the field. So I'm excited to see how these two teams match up during this championship game.
And you talked about Ford Fairback, we have off camera him and Beckett Mollett. Fairback leads the entire event in scoring, and he continued it in the semifinal, and once they got into elimination, played overall. But that 1-2 punch, Scotty, it can be deadly, and we're expecting to see a good chunk of it here in the final.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if those two put up numbers this game. They've been doing it the entire tournament, and there's no signs of slowing them down. But if a team wants to do it, it would be Team 91.
And then looking at Team 91, Denny Dannon in that last game and throughout this whole event has been lights out. And Ryan, you got to see him up close just this morning.
Yeah, 2 goals in that semifinal game. Increased his goal output to 18 now here over these, what was 6 games, about to get 7 going now for both of these two teams. Or, excuse me, I'll backtrack. 7 games, about to get started with game number 8. But Denahan, I mean, gets his left hand free, and I think he hit a pipe or two even. A lot of good looks in that semifinal game. Obviously found the back of the net 2 times. And another name you didn't mention, Finn Regan had a hat trick in that semifinal. 15 goals now here in this Lacrosse World Series Championship tournament. 2 guys that we should be, or more so you should be calling their names out as we get into this game. They're the primary ball handlers, and we'll see that here as we get going. Brody Morrow, also big kid. He's the son of head coach Jay Morrow. Likely we'll see him operating from behind the cage a little bit.
And in cage, we'll see Blake Benway and Jackson Waybrecht most likely for Team 91. For two-way, they've had a one-man cage, and it's Grayson Dillon. He was fantastic in the semifinals, getting a chunk of saves and having a .587 save percentage in this game. And playing great in net. Both these teams, we've talked about offense, but Scotty, their defenses are solid as well.
Yes, both of their defense have prevented teams from scoring this entire tournament, but we'd be wrong to not mention this man, Lucas Chung. He's a FOGO for Team 91, and he is the game changer. In this youth lacrosse game, there is no shot clock. The name of the game is time of possession, and if you can't win at the X, you can't win the game. And Lucas Chung has been helping those boys out at 91 for all of this event.
And I'll tell you what, in that semifinal game, Chung struggled in the first quarter, figured it out as the game went on, and obviously had a goal in that semifinal as well. And Express, they were able to, again, 9-3 Cyclones lead. It finished 11-10, so Express made that comeback. A lot of winning possessions at the face-off stripe, but certainly Chung looking for him to have a big day.
And it's Graham Silverman on the other side for two-way, and he, in that semifinal, was dominant. And like you said, Scotty, it's possession. Win those face-offs, you're going to have a good chance to win the game. Two-way did that in their semifinal, so has Team 91 throughout, and we will see those two go at it right now. It looks like coming out, Chung against Silverman. We will see the opening face-off. 4 quarters, 11 minutes, running clock. They will stop for injuries. And we are underway here at the Lacrosse World Series Championship Final. And two-way picks up possession to start.
These two teams, they met this past May. Blatant spring jam, 11-4. Two-way took care of business. So we'll see how Team 91, the Cyclones, react and respond here in a new stage.
There's Beckett Mollett. He's wearing number 3 in white right now with Ford Fairback in number 7, working the two-man game behind. Fairback cranks one, goes up top, off of the keeper. That's Jackson Waybrecht who's getting the start right now. Send it in on a run. Joseph Perriot, excuse me.
Saw in that first, or more so the semifinal, I should say, for the Cyclones. Benway got the start in the first half. It was Waybrecht in half number 2.
Backhand! Team 91 gets on the board first. And it's a great goal from Finn Regan. Picks it up on the backhand. And we got a 1-0 game here, Scotty.
Not exactly how they drew it up here, right? A little fumble on the crease here, but he managed to make it happen, falling with the backhand goal. Guys, we're talking about youth lacrosse kids right now with a backhand goal. Come on. I don't think I ever tried that in college, but these kids got some skills.
Ryan and I were saying in the semifinals, I saw a BTB goal. I think he saw multiple attempts.
A couple attempts, yeah. I would not, even in high school, I was not attempting. I knew I'd come off the field and the coaches wouldn't be too thrilled about it.
Hey, lacrosse has changed.
Certainly,
sometimes those BTBs, they give them the better angle. You see the guys who have changed the game over the last couple of years. It started with Lyle Thompson, and since then has evolved even more to the backyard style, people like to call it.
Certainly, and even on the sideline down there, one of the program founder essentially for the Cyclones, Brian Spallina, his son at Syracuse, doing some fantastic things.
He is, and his daughter committed to Clemson. Was originally going to Syracuse, as there's Waybrecht who picks it up. Long Island obviously producing mountains of talent.
And I got a good note for you there on Waybrecht before I miss it here as they get across midfield. His older sister Peyton, Cortland lacrosse commit, she'll be back at Bayport Blue Point next spring as a senior. But the Phantoms, I believe 1 loss, maybe 20-1. New York Class C champs.
Here's two-way trying to settle things back in. There's Charlie McCormack.
Yeah, a little turnover there in the middle of the field. Cyclones are trying to it looks like try to find a ball handler rather than one of their shorties or a long pole, and just ball hit the turf. See if two-way can take advantage here of a Team 91 mistake.
Getty Inman wearing 21 in white has it up top right now, getting the offensive personnel on for two-way. It's a good crowd on hand. Scotty mentioned that. That's the fun thing, is everyone ends it with a procession and then stays and sticks around to watch this game, the championship game, get a fresh new set of threads.
That was an interesting defensive look there, Nick. I don't know if Team 91 were in like a zone. They had a defender, like the top of that arc. I'm trying to explain it. It wasn't like he was on somebody, sort of just like a second help defender there.
Just a floater in front. There's the feed. And Ryan Tansley led the team in goals during the pool play and quarterfinals, and continues it right there. Two-way evens it up 1-1.
Really quick here. I just want to make sure we clear it up. Yeah, I know you mentioned Brian Spallina. Brian Spallina is the uncle of Joey Spallina from Syracuse.
Cleaned it up for me, absolutely.
And you know what's funny? Is Joe Spallina is the father of Joey Spallina.
That was a great look. That's a senior in high school pass, right? Like I do a lot of high school lacrosse. That's a lot of the stuff you see from the top of the restraining box, a skip pass down around goal line extended. That was high level right there to give two-way the tie here at 1.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, and Scotty, you seeing all the games this week, it's been so impressive seeing some of these attackmen, their ability to keep the eyes up and find those feeds like Ryan was saying. It really is next level. These kids are playing above.
Yes, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Drumline, but when they're playing the drums, they say not to look at the drums because it's not going to go anywhere. And it's the same thing in lacrosse. There's no reason to be looking at your stick the entire time when you're cradling. If you know what you're doing, you better keep that head up and look for the next move.
I don't know about that skip pass attempt there, though. That was, let's see, Beckett Mollett tried to go near sideline to far sideline, and it's a nice stick there by a Cyclones defender.
Trying to force it, but a nice pickup by the defender. Jack Mooney sends it on the clear, and they'll settle in on the offensive end. Jake Degenfelder will settle it down, and we'll see Team 91 on this end since that quick first goal on the unsettled offense. Beats one. Slide comes, and Team 91. They're on the board once again, and it's Finn Regan. He's got 2.
Yeah, that was a good look there for Finn. That's now goal number 17 here in this tournament. We'll see it again right here. Got his defenders on skates, kept the stick in his right hand to maintain that angle, and then bounce shots go. There's a good look there for Regan. That's now 2 goals here in our championship, and his team a 2-1 lead, 5 minutes left to play.
Now halfway through this first quarter, two-way played Eclipse Navy in the quarterfinals. That was their closest game, 11-8 final score, and then took down Duke's Elite this morning, or later on this morning. Both those games coming today, 9-4.
Last 2 days for two-way has been wide margins.
Almost every game they've played until they ran into Eclipse Navy was a tough one. Two-way picks it up and
tough one for the team that was going against them.
Harper D'Onofrio had a really good game in the semifinals. A pair of goals for him. Was really initiating the offense from up top for this two-way team. Brooks Barr up there with him on that first midfield unit.
No look action right there from the far sideline.
Fairback gets it back, overlooks. Has the eyes up, Barr. Swung around, jump shot off the post, ricochets outside, stays with two-way.
You go ahead, Scotty.
Now take a look at what 91's doing right now. They're playing in a zone. They showed this a couple times during their previous games here, but don't be wrong or don't be mistaken. They could play both a man and a zone here, but it's always nice to switch up the defense here. It's exciting to see how certain offenses react to this zone offense or zone defense. because some teams just don't know what to do here.
And I'll bring it right back to what we've been saying, how talented these kids are. You got to think, two-way, they're offensive players, how fantastic they are and talented to be able to adjust. And for Team 91, the Cyclones, defensively to be able to go in and out of that man-to-man and that zone defense just shows the level of lacrosse IQ that these kids have at this level. 20-30, seventh grade.
Down low. Gets it right back. Playing heavy pressure on him. Step down shot bar. Nice save, Weybrecht. Ricochets. This one will be a chase.
Now, with that zone, they really are slouched in here, and they want two-way to be taking those shots from deep here. But that means 91 has a lot of trust in their goalie to make those stops. So great job by the 91 by forcing two-way to take those deep shots.
Weybrecht over 30 saves in this tournament, a .413 goals against average.
And one thing I'll add there, too, end of the semifinal. Express one last look, trailing by a goal, and it wasn't even the goalie that came in and made a big save. Got knocked down on its way there.
Jump shot, Weybrecht didn't have to move, covered his post perfect. There's Fairbank again, leads the entire tournament as we got a whistle off ball, and it's gonna stay with two-way.
A lot of opportunity here for two-way, though. They keep on getting the ball back after these rebounds. 91 needs a clean save to bring it the other way.
Yellow call, they're slowing things down, setting up the offense. Got two behind. They play Mola and Fairbank behind goal line extended, working the two-man game quite a bit. Barr gives it right back. Worked around Walsh.
Looks like the Cyclones settled
Skip
back
pass.
in that zone.
Smollett, long goal line extended. One-handed shot. What a goal. Harper D'Onofrio makes it 2-2.
That was absolutely unbelievable. One-handed goal there, and it was a long possession here. The thing about the Youth World Series, right, is that there is no shot clock here. Defense gets worn down here, and offense ends up coming out on top here.
I want to see the replay maybe one more time. That handle is what I'll highlight. Here it is. A one-handed handle. I mean, obviously, they're maybe right here. The shot is impressive. It's the handle, though, that we'll see in a second with sticks all around you. Look at that. And the one hand, just have the leverage to be able to do that.
That's the look.
That's the look right there. Yeah, that's what you put on the highlight tape.
Yeah, that's one of those takes as a goalie and a defender. You're just like, I don't know what the heck just happened.
Shot goes wide. Bouncer taken by Ryan Tansley. It'll stay with two-way and Millette. Short time. Pushing around, trying to take it. Jump shot once again. They like that quick question mark turn.
Oh,
Great
that's a
run
hustle play.
Look at the legs move. Back up, 491.
Now, although that play won't make a difference ultimately because the quarter runs out here, that's a hustle play that 91 loves, and that could give them some momentum going into the next quarter.
Matthew Zegers was the one who ran that down. It is the end of the first quarter. We're going to step aside for a quick moment, but we got a close one. 2-2 between two-way and 91 in the final. Back here to start the second quarter. It is 2-2. Lax Guy Scotty, Ryan Osebos, Nick Kloss here with you. First one, we are all tied up. Scotty, what were your takeaways from those first 11 minutes? It's tight here.
It's very tight here, and these two teams did not disappoint one bit. I knew both of these teams had a lot of promise, and I just wanted to see what it was going to look like for these first 11 minutes. And they both put up their 2 goals. Defenses have been showing out here, a little sloppy. So in the second quarter, I'm expecting them to settle down and play their game.
And do you think that could be some jitters? They're playing in front of everyone. They're on the main field, like you said. And we've talked about it. They get the new gear to be on the championship game right here on U.S. Club Lax TV. So those jitters could be coming out and settling in here in the second. Here's Team 91 on a quick run up high. Dylan catches it on the bouncer. Could they get another rebound goal? This time, no. Dylan on a quick outlet, and it's perfectly connected to the right side of the field.
It's a great job by Tansley there. He kept the stick in his left hand to keep that angle. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. I'd have to guess from the two-way sideline.
Absolutely. The coach probably called a timeout right there because he was stuck in some traffic there. They don't want to give up the ball and knew to call a timeout right there. Veteran timeout by coach.
Wanted to make sure they keep that possession, can run on the offense, possibly take a lead here. It was 91 who got us started. But Ryan, we just heard what Scotty saw in that first half. What have you seen from two-ways offense, and what can they do against this 91 defense? And we've seen Waybrecht in cage. He started strong.
Certainly, and it really all depends, like how are the Cyclones matching up defensively. Again, we've seen the zone. So how do you beat the zone? You got to get the ball moving. You got to get defenders out of position, and that's how you find a guy open. And that's really how you beat the man as well. So we'll see how they, obviously they're coming out defensively here. We'll see how they come out and match up.
See two-way with the ball to start. These two teams, number 2 and number 3 in the national rankings. Next Level Blues 1, they're 42-1, but then Team 91 and two-way Black follow in the 2030 National Club rankings. So we truly are seeing 2 of the best teams in the country and the best players go at it here for the Lacrosse World Series Championship.
On a beautiful day, too, right? Couldn't have gone a more perfect day.
That's a lazy pass right there. You got to make sure when you're playing against this 91 team, you're stepping away from your defender and throwing it away. You can't cut corners in a game like this.
Willette, hockey stop, does it again. On the split, trying to turn it around. They love the Rob Pinnell turn right now. Hasn't gone. Waybrecht has done a really good job of holding his post and not getting out of position.
And he's not the biggest kid either in between the pipes there.
As a small goalie myself, I can't help but respect it.
All
and
about
also,
getting out of the cage, trying to cut off as much angle as possible.
You mentioned the weather. Scotty and I were here last year, and I swear it was 10, 15 degrees hotter than it was this time. All right, inside, right off the chest, Dylan lets it squeak through. Is it going to count, though? It's a good goal.
It's going to count. You're just talking about how hot it was last year. Speaking of hot, it's 91 right now with that finish here. Unbelievable, and one with the flag down. We like to consider that a double positive there.
That's Danny Denon. We talked about him. He takes the contact, Ryan, and gets the goal.
Yeah, see him in a second here. Again, all these guys, it's not like they're the biggest kids. There are a few out there that stand tall, but Denahan, you see him right there. His defender's probably got a whole head on him, but, head of steam, not afraid to right there, just go head on, create his own contact. That was a fantastic finish there for Denahan.
That's a big boy hit right there.
Harry
Taken
Lamb,
by
4 and white.
He took that. He's able to eat it, get the goal. Tough play there, and we'll get a face-off. 8:15 left to go in the second quarter. 11-minute running clock. We'll stop for injuries. If we have a close game, we'll stop clock later on.
Down inside 2 minutes possibly.
What a clean face-off.
Hopefully we got some stoppages, meaning we got a great game going on.
Battle at the face-off dot is one to watch. We talked about it. Chung versus Silverman are the 2 guys to watch. They've been going at it so far, and we'll see that develop throughout this game. Like Scotty said earlier on, there's no shot clock in youth lacrosse, so this is old school rules, really, is what it is. So you can hold it, you can milk the clock a little bit. There is stall warnings, so something to be aware of for these two teams. Can't just kill it forever.
Yep. Now we're looking at them now. 91 is back in that man, and now two-way can figure out what they want to do against this man. They've got to approach it a little bit differently here. 91 on defense presses out. What's impressive about 91 is that they're not going to have anybody that really blows you away with their size, but they're going to have people who blow you away with their athleticism here.
You see near sideline in front of the two-way bench, it's 16 Brooks Barr being locked off, so Team 91 is content playing 5-on-5 right here. For two-way, opens up the field a little bit.
Mollett coming up top. We'll see the ball in the stick of Mollett, Fairback. And you see Brooks Barr has been a huge part of this team. He's 16 running around. He's got a face guard. So they are trying to take him out of the equation. You talked about some of these mismatches in size at this age. Brooks Barr is one of those guys who
look at him
has
towering over his defender.
Good size. And they're going to try and take him away, not make him a factor.
Yeah, I mentioned it there. He was being locked off. He was up around midfield in front of the near sideline. Now, though, in and around the crease. That's where you want to be. If you're getting locked off, you want to be within the play. In front of the goal is a good place to be because you can try to, set a pick for somebody else in front. You can roll off a pick in front. I believe this is him right here along our far wing.
Right now, here's McCormack.
Correct myself. Yeah.
Does the turn there.
Really patient on this offensive possession here. No rush at all.
Down the alley, bounces wide.
It's a good take, though. That's what they like.
Being patient, waiting for not just a shot, the right shot, as they trail by one here. It's a possession game, and they have to cherish the ball. Every single possession. Fairback gets hands free, rips it, and a save. Waybrecht on top of it.
Stick side low, had to go down and dig that one out. Great job there by Jackson. Up over 30 saves coming into this championship game through, I believe, 4 games that he played the bulk of.
Can he get Team 91 to a 2-goal lead? Getting that back to the offensive end.
Double team came, should be somebody open on the backside.
Smart. Get under that.
All the way around the horn. Mazurek. Low goal line extended. He gets it back. Takes the ISO, lowers the shoulder. Back door! What a find! Team 91. And it's Danny Denon with another.
Danahan seems to be limping a little bit right there here, but he's a tough-nosed kid. He'll be okay, hopefully. I'm hoping he's going to be fine. But on this play right here, right, we're watching a dodge come from X here. He goes up to the right, and when he goes towards the right, he beats his man. And his slide, the slide's coming towards him, leaves the man wide open on the crease, and that's how he gets that easy finish. Look at this slide, and it's a half slide. That's where it becomes too easy. If you're going to slide, you have to slide with purpose, and that slide right there was a half slide.
Slide as well with your head on a swivel and probably be barking out orders to guys behind you. Hey, you got to slide down and take this guy on goal line extended.
Alessandro Weston wins that back. Danny
He's
Denahan
nobody's going to him.
has 2 goals now, and he's done them both on that side.
Unsettled situation. Chance here near side. We had 21 in blue. See if he can win this run out to the corner.
Talked about the BTBs. There was one, and there's Denahan again. And you see, he's playing through some pain. Little limp when we've cut to him a couple times. That'll stay with Team 91 Long Island. Cyclones, as they are known.
91 has a tough culture. That's what they have here. I was on the sideline for one of these games, and a kid came off the field limping. And the coach, what I love is that the coach wasn't babying the kid. Coach asked him, are you hurt or you're tired? And the kid just got right back into the game. And that symbolizes the toughness of 91.
Or more so, sometimes a lot of the question, are you hurt or are you injured?
I was about to say,
See how
the
it goes.
difference,
Yeah.
what's the difference between hurt and injured? Hurt, you can still play. This two-way will get this one back, a 2-goal run for Team 91, so needing to stall that progress as we get down to near 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Our defenses have tightened up here in quarter number 2.
Taking their time, two-way.
I'd say also that, too, as you say that. Offensive also slowed down pretty considerably as well.
D'Onofrio loads up the dodge to the right hand over the top, sweeping on the cut. Bounce shot goes wide, picked up. Olette
It's another good look coming north of goal line extended.
gets
Great
tied
defense.
up. Good defense. Grabbed by Waybrecht over the net, and he's got a chance for a clear.
Great check. Way to get under his own hands when he was about to load up there. Causes him to drop that ball pretty low.
Great check in the middle of the field. Fortunate Cyclones able to hold on, and I think the timeout there as the ball got jarred loose.
A good timeout. We talked about it with two-way. Team 91 right now, they know they're late in the clock. Like we said, 4 quarters, and it's no stoppage. Running clock, so if you want to value that time, got to take the timeout. Only get stoppage if it's a close game under 2 minutes. And right now, Scotty, what is 91, or what are you thinking they're looking at out of this timeout?
Now, 91 right now is just looking to continue to do what they're doing, right? Two-way is slowing it down, but hey, what two-way I think is trying to do is cause 91 to become impatient, make them be undisciplined, but 91 is sticking to their game plan and just sticking to the pace of play here. Now, what's impressive, I'm getting a little distracted over here, is what's going on in the field right now. We've got a halftime show over here. People doing cartwheels, people doing back handsprings. Man, if I was to try one of those, I would tear my hamstring, and I'd be complaining about it for the next 4 weeks.
I think you should get out and give it a shot.
Until next year's event, right?
Yeah.
We only need you for next year's event.
Now, this event right now, having these two teams in this final is funny. It's almost like a full circle because a couple years ago, I watched two-way play against Express North in the championship game. Sadly, two-way didn't come out on top. And a couple years before that, 91 played against BBL in what I consider one of the best games I've ever seen in the Lacrosse World Series Championship. Came back in that game and ended up winning ultimately, and they look to do it again in this one.
Team 91, a program of storied success. The players they've produced have gone on to be some of the best in the world. A culture of, like Scotty said, toughness, but that toughness, it breeds diamonds.
Absolutely. Culture over here is unbelievable. Every single person that has to do with that 91 buys into that culture. I was talking to Coach Morrow about this because something that makes 91 stick out is not just their players, it's their parents. Their parents are so bought in, wearing 91 stuff from head to toe. You don't see that with every single lacrosse program, but 91 goes above and beyond.
Here's two-way. Needing one-way break. A great save. Feifel makes a second. D'Onofrio trying to track it down on the ground ball. There's a loose ball push or a hold instead. Two-way keeps it.
What an acrobatic save there by Waybrecht. Had to go really down and dig that one out. And then had to he tried to recover the loose ball after he parried it.
Short time here. To the right hand, bouncer soars the net.
The
Brooks
kick save
Barr.
right there.
Waybrecht might have gotten a piece of it, and the refs have the final time, so we will await their whistle, go off them. There is a little bit of separation.
Ball on the ground. Ooh.
Two-way inside, another great save, rebound, diving across Waybrecht. And he is fired up as the first half comes to an end. And Scotty, it's a good one. We are having fun here. 4-2 here at the end of the half. We'll take a break. More lacrosse action coming up here from the Lacrosse World Series Championship.
please process to select your water bottles as you are announced. Next at attack, Titan Getler from 3D Georgia. Next at attack, Joey Martin from BBL Central. Next at attack, Jack Levine from Eclipse. Now starting midfield from Express Long Island, Spencer Sizz. Next at midfield from Shore to Shore, Declan Driscoll. Midfield from Express Long Island, Finn Baroni. From Beast Lacrosse, midfield, Thomas Wheatley. Now moving on to the defense for the second team. From Orange Crush, Wyatt Francie. For Utah Prime, Jack Gowski. True Upstate defender, Levi Baran. And rounding out the defense from Team Israel, Max Entner. At face-off for the second team All-World, we have from Team 91 Cyclones, Lucas Chung. And at goalie for the second team All-World, Ronan Orth. Congratulations to all who were selected to the second team All-World. Now moving on to the first team All-World. Attack from two-way, Ford Fairback. From Team 91 Cyclones, Dan Danahan. From Towerman, Ioni Kalikwi. And from Dukes Elite on the attack, James Johnston. Now for the midfield for the first team, Team Igloo Black Ice, Matthew.
2, set, 1, 2.
It's so late every time.
Welcome back at halftime here. We got about 3 minutes to go. Nicklaus, Ryan Holsabos, Lax Guy, Scotty here with us. He'll be backing us with us in a moment. Ryan, looking at some of these first half highlights, just break down what you've seen. We've seen some really good goals, 91 up 4-2 right now.
I think this is the garbage goal. It is. Ball fell in front of, that's Finn Regan. I think this was the first of his 2 goals. Little shuttle or shuffle shot, you could call it. And then here was two-way answering. Not sure if this was the ton of contact. No, that was the nice skip pass in front. Yeah, really, I mean, for both of these two teams, it's just, you know, see how defensively what we get. Obviously, it's more so for Long Island, for Team 91, excuse me. We've seen them kind of give us some different looks defensively. So for two-way, just being able to react to that. There again was that first goal, the nice pass in front for Tansley. That got two-way on the board.
Two-way
putting his man on skates. This was Regan, his second goal.
Two-way, they were the best offensive team in this tournament. 61 goals scored in pool play for them. There's that beautiful one-handed goal from Harper D'Onofrio.
Can't even just shout out the goal itself, the handle to the goal. Here's Denahan creating all this contact here. Look at this collision at the end of this shot.
And it just goes off of the mask / chest protector of Grayson Dillon in cage, and taking a big hit there was Denahan, and we've seen him limping a little bit after that, but he has not shied away one bit from taking that contact and being there. He had a really nice backdoor shot, which we'll probably see in a moment. This 91 team came to play in that first quarter, but Ryan, we were talking about it. We don't think we've really seen two-way at their best.
Something, if we had Scotty here with us, is that's what he's been harping on, that, hey, like, we haven't even seen two-way start clicking yet. Maybe we saw it a little bit in the first half, or in the first quarter, excuse me. They were blanked in that second quarter, but we haven't even seen them get the gears all clicking and everything, you know, spinning as it should be. There was that beautiful cross-crease pass. Something that the coaches back in the day, we're talking about our own experiences. My coach would have pulled me to the sideline, be like, what are you doing, Ryan? Don't be making that pass across. But what a look. When you're this skilled and you're this talented, you can make nice passes like that.
Well, Scotty talked about it when we first saw that. It was also the IQ of these players. We talked about how they play above their age, really how good they are, but they also have an IQ for the game above their age. We see Team 91 run in a zone, playing really disciplined defense, and then the IQ there to be able to look up, keep the eyes up, see the slide coming and see the opening, but also execute it as we are back. The battle at the faceoff dot, Lucas Chung against Graham Silverman, and Team 91 takes it. They'll start with possession here in the second half.
Oh my God, you got to stop the ball. Well, there it is.
And just like that, two-way was not ready for the start of this one. Brody Morrow makes it 5-2.
You know, when you see a team coming down on a fast break, you can't turn into a deer in the headlights here, right? You see these guys coming down with the ball. Guys, the most important the most important person in the game is the person with the ball. Now, if you watch him go down, nobody's stopping him here, and then somebody comes over from the backside and finishes with the goal here. Brody Morrow, Coach Morrow's son, getting it done once again.
I would say, I guess, just to piggyback off what you're saying, it was Marshner, 17, and White, who was sort of in no man's land. As you're saying, though, like fly out to him, complete. You know, a defender coming out at you. Obviously, as an offensive player, you got one of two options. You can stop, and obviously you got to retreat and try to find a man, or you can sidestep him and do whatever you got to do. That's more the defender coming out under control. But had he just come out with a little bit of pressure, a little bit more force to it, likely would have made the offensive player, you got to take a second to think, what's my next move? Would have put the defender behind him in a tough situation, covering two people, which is essentially what he ended up having to do. But definitely, again, as just to piggyback on what you're saying, Scotty, just coming out with a little bit more force, coming out with a little bit more, really the word I guess I'm looking for is just, get there and cut off the angle.
Be a little more confident.
There you go. Confident and assertive is really the word I was looking for.
There should be no player when you're 6-on-6 lacrosse. There should be no player unmarked, and that player definitely should not be the ball carrier.
Now, this is a massive possession for two-way here, right? I was talking about it earlier about 91 being a streaky team, right? 91, if they get rolling, they become a hard ball to stop. That's just how it goes here. But two-way shouldn't be frazzled yet. There's a whole lot of ball left.
Sidearm rip.
Nice save right there. Low to high, rip, and a save. 91 gets the ball back here.
Blake Benway with the save. We have a new keeper in. Waybrecht took the first half. Now second half is going with Benway, and he starts off hot, but two-way gets this ball immediately back. Unsuccessful clear.
Great look there for two-way. Tansley took that shot, and he had a lot of space. We never saw that replay, but he had a ton of room to make that shot after he received the pass.
Inside, two-way trying to get away from traffic. That's Ryan Tansley. Mullet got knocked down, and we talked about a slide, and as we have a timeout here to stop it, we talked about a slide on the other end, or even just marking up with your man where they weren't going confidently, weren't going physically. That was a slide where they went physically and took the body. It was a really nice one there defensively.
Just like dodging, right? They say to dodge with purpose here, and the same thing on defense. You got to slide with purpose here. You can't do anything half speed in a lacrosse game here. If you're going to slide, you got to slide. You got to clear the crease. You got to do it the right way here.
Yeah, great double team there.
Now, speaking of sliding here, I got to slide a shout out over to the BBL parents, or not the BBL, the BBL parents, but not just any BBL, BBL Central parents. Yesterday I slid into the lobby of my hotel and I was just hanging out, and the BBL Central parents and the BBL Central moms especially allowed me to hang out with them for a little bit, made me feel like I was part of their family last night. I just wanted to say thank you so much. And shout out to Jersey for being the best state in the country.
We do our best, don't we?
We do the thing. We do the thing.
You were in the same hotel as one of the teams, too.
Team 91 right here. Team 91,
their parents. I was in the same hotel as Prime Time. So
there we go.
Seeing a lot of the different teams staying around in Westchester, Downington, Philadelphia area.
King of Prussia is where we were with the Cyclones.
Really fun event. We've talked about it a lot. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these teams. The 20-30 age group right now, low pass. Having to run it down is Brooks Barr. He almost doesn't, but Picks it up to safety.
Yeah, primarily 7th graders, a couple 8th graders, just in talking to the couple coaches. I know before the semifinal, I was down on the sideline talking to some of the Cyclones coaches. A couple guys that are 8th graders that obviously are just younger, able to qualify under the 13U.
Feed inside, gets knocked away. We have talked a lot about Beckett, Mollett, and Ford Fairback. We haven't really seen them be loud. Could be the change here, but Fairback dishes it off. Need a spark from their best players. Ryan Tansley, another bar, takes the outside rib. Backup stays with two-way.
Absolutely, man. I mean, in a games like this, right, you like to rely on your better players, but I also think it serves as a great opportunity for somebody other than those 2 stud players to come out and show out.
And here he is. Ford Fairback gets the feed from Beckett Mollett, and just on cue, it's 5-3.
A left-handed catch and shoot. Look how quick he catches this, and look how fast he releases it, man. That's what changes the goal, changes it right here, right? The ball's all the way at X here. He splits, he moves it, okay? Make sure he still has the ball here. Watch how fast he catches and he shoots. That's how you do it here. The goalie has to turn around his head. He's looking at the baseline right now, and he has to set himself up, and Fairback just puts it away.
Just a great replay there from our crew. Shout out to everyone out in the sun, all our cameramen, producers, directors. Actually, that's one guy. He's doing it all. Ryan DePaul.
That's a great job by Fairback, too. He essentially just, piggybacking off of the catch and release, he skipped into essentially the catch so that he had his hands free, could get that shut off immediately. Great look there by Fairback.
Gets up top, Getty Inman. Right back from Barr. Down the left alley, moves it back through X. Quick movement. Fairback on a run, nearing on 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 5-3, Lacrosse World Series Championship Final. Who will be crowned? And foul going against 91.
Getting caught up in some traffic right there. That's when you just got to back away. You know these guys on 91, if they see you caught up, especially near the goal, they're going to clear you out. Watch again here. He stops his feet, tries to beat the slide, but hey, he got the push, and he lives to see another day.
Great job defensively there. That was 18 in blue. See if I can find my 18 real quick. Gavin Levy. Just more so what you're saying. The second he saw the numbers, he saw the back of the jersey, he was there immediately.
Fairback, quarterbacking behind, leads the team and the tournament in assists and points. Mollett tries to go to the back door. Nice snag to keep this in play. Fairback on skates, set down, sidearm, and a rip. Ryan Tansley gets two-way within one.
That roll from Fairback was absolutely lightning quick here. Lost his man, drew the slide, and moved it up to Ryan Tansley here. What a move, what a play. Watch this roll here. If the ref moves out the way, too bad he doesn't. But he plants that foot, and he just moves it up top. Give me that bucket, he says.
Yeah, that was a fantastic look. I don't know if this is necessarily a goal right here, but that was just a great look. Get the left hand free.
Snag.
Yeah, that was the snag to keep the possession alive. Yep.
Snag into a Canadian.
Yep.
Flick over, so.
And then you see the skill behind, put the stick in the left hand, likely the offhand, and bang. Low to high. Oh, looked like stick side high even. Great job there by two-way. 1 goal game, Nick.
So here's Regan in what feels like a long time since we've seen the ball on the offensive end for 91. Things are changing here.
This is shaping up to be a good one here. Big possession here for 91 to catch some momentum here. Let's see if the offense can put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, two-way, won about, call it 12 or 13 minutes or so without a goal. Back-to-back goals, like I said, to make it a 1-goal game.
Team 91's second straight close game and second game where they had an early lead and have let them back into it. 2:30 left to go in the third quarter. Denahan looks for another, the hat trick. Not on that one, running it out.
Now, Denahan, right? Small kid, but that doesn't say anything about his shot. I'm just watching that man pull it, and he pulls the ball, shoots the ball with some anger. I love to see that.
To the back door, doesn't connect, and that's going to be a turnover. Two-way will take it on the clear.
That's what we call a force there. No reason to force that pass towards the crease. Ends up being a turnover here. Now Two-Way's taking it the other way.
Yeah, Denahan, the intended target there.
Can Brooks Barr track it down, or are we going to see another unforced error? We will not. Ground ball for Barr. On the offensive end, Harper D'Onofrio, he had that one-handed goal. Down low on a quick rip. Ricochets out of bounds. Fairback backs it up.
Great defensive play there. Matthew Zegers, mentioned his name a ton in the semifinal already a couple times here in our championship game. He got on the shooter's hands quickly and took him off his feet as well, forcing that shot to go wide.
Great look.
Oh my God, that's Fairback to Tansley once again. That's 2 goals in a row. Those guys are working together here. Fairback just throws the ball, and Tansley is always on the move here, catches it lefty, and finishes it top right.
That's 3 for Tansley, and we got to get another look. There is a skill to finding an opening on a cut, and we've seen it here from Tansley. Second time now, he's been able to get open for a great step-down opportunity.
Perfect shot placement, too. Snuck it right up under the crossbar. As you mentioned, now a hat trick for Tansley, 3 unanswered goals for Two-Way.
And here's a face-off win for 91. Now tied up in a close game. There's a slip. Numbers for 91.
Now, this is a tough situation, right, for 91. This, in the second half here, I want to say that Two-Ways already have had more opportunities than they had it the entire first half. Now imagine being a goalie walking into these Two-Way guys letting their hands get loose.
Short time. We'll wait for the official stop. Our clock a little bit off from theirs. They have time down on the field. So final couple seconds. See if they can get anything off before time expires. 5-5 right now. As we tick away on the third quarter, an ISO up top. Porio.
Oh, man.
Doesn't see anything, turns around.
Crease is wide open. Not anymore.
Through Regan and back down low.
He's doing a good job there, number 12, though, in front. Constantly moving.
Pushing upfield. Behind the back pass, behind the back. Oh, doesn't finish.
Yeah, that play would have been all over the place if they finished on that.
Nearly a BTB to a BTB.
Again, 10 seconds I can hear from some of our supporters.
Back door. Who else? Danny Denahan gets the hat trick and back in front. Team 91.
They needed that goal. They definitely needed that goal here. Now going into the fourth quarter with a little bit of momentum, and if they're not going into the quarter with a little bit of momentum, at least they stopped all of Two-Way's momentum with those 3 unanswered goals until just now.
Getting a quick look at that goal at the end of the quarter. We got 11 minutes coming up after, but see it again. This is the second time we've seen Denahan wide open all alone on the back door.
Absolutely. You look at 17 here for Two-Way, right? He gets caught ball watching. One of the worst things that can happen here, especially when you're covering somebody like that was Morrow who scored. When you're covering somebody like Morrow, you've got to make sure you keep an eye on the ball, and you got to make sure you're, more importantly, watching your own man.
And what a job by Morrow. Comes into this championship, 16 assists over 7 games. Now adds another, possibly some other assists here in our championship game as well. But what a job. Stick all in his grill, right? He's got a defender all over him, but head up. Able to see Denahan in front and right at the buzzer. Gives Team 91, the Cyclones, a 6-5 lead.
We're going to stick right here as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Two-way, quite smart there. Brought their own tent, as we've seen a lot of teams do. We don't see it on the other side for 91, but they'll just, like we said, culture of toughness. So they're just saying, hey, take the heat. It's fine. As these parents all, Scotty mentioned it, but a huge shout out to all the parents here who have helped their kids and everyone watching, supporting their kids here at this tournament. You know, there's no club lacrosse, no careers for these kids without their parents, so a huge shout out to all of them as we got 11 more minutes, guys, and it's a one-goal game. This is shaping up to be a great one.
Yes, sir, it is, man. This is one of those games where I'm going to start talking about for a while here, right? And we're talking about youth lacrosse. 91 came out hot, two-way. Didn't let that stop them, and 91 ended the third quarter with one goal here, and now we're in the 6-5 fourth quarter.
Lucas Chung, Graham Silverman have been battling at the face-off dot all day long. This one won by 91.
Exactly what we expected, right? Two of the best teams, number 2 and number 3 respectively, per U.S. Club Lacrosse to get to this stage, 6-5. Exactly what we expected as we get a whistle here. Looks like it'll be a turnover, two-way, heading the other way.
I think that was a failure to advance.
I believe it was. You saw the tap of the head of the official, so that gives the ball to two-way, but now they are struggling to get it over. Picked up, ran to the outside. That's Miles Marshner, the pole, who grabbed it. Now 91 and two-way. Can't even say it fast enough. Now two-way has it in the offensive end.
Now we need to settle down. That was like a full minute of unsettled lacrosse here. Settle down, get who you need in the game, and let's go.
And just from watching two-way here in this championship game, they've done that. So I'd imagine they're going to take about the next minute or so off the clock here.
Now, Ford Fairback, right? That third quarter was his awakening in that one. And if he continues rolling, that's going to be a hard one. That's going to be a hard thing to stop for 91.
Ford Fairback and Ryan Tansley, their connection has shown here. Haven't heard much from Molette, but he's initiated a lot of that offense. Fairback coming around, has that quickness. A guy who looks like we could see him playing at high levels for years to come. Barr on the run, pulls it back to Nafrio up top. Quick turn. Step down! Harper D'Onofrio ties things up 6-6.
That right there is a big man move. Go over to the left here and then turn your momentum and bring it to your right hand and just let that thing fly. Look at my man right here. He's a big boy. He knows he's a big boy, and he plays like a big boy. Going down the left alley, he knows he wants to take it back right, and then he lets that thing fly. What I love about the roll here, right, is he uses his defender to stop his own momentum just enough to roll to the top side and get it out of that right hand.
A huge momentum goal. We're back tied up. There was a point where Team 91, the Cyclones, led 5-2. They started to stretch this one out and were really showing that they were the more settled team to start that first quarter and the first half. But now two-way in that third quarter really found a groove, and we got a great one picked up by two-way. 91 doesn't get settled in, but it is still free between the restraining lines.
Yeah, forced pass there from Dennehan along the far wing. Skip pass in front was what he was trying to do. And now, fortunate for him, though, the Cyclones will take over here middle of the field and now touching the restraining box.
Once again, chaotic. Regan puts it back. Morrow, another pass. Shot off the mark as it gets deflected. Weston gets it up top. Weiserick has one-on-one with a pick. Decides to go away. Takes the shot on the run. Dylan makes the save. Second chance. Scoops it up. Blocks the 5-hole.
I'm not mad at that shot at all. You just need to throw it at the goalie a little bit harder there. right? Don't fade away. There was nobody coming at you. Just go ahead and finish towards the net.
I was going to say the flip side, I wasn't too much of a fan of it. Just why don't you keep playing, making your way towards goal line, extended, try to spin the ball around and go after it again on the other side. No shot clock.
That's the beautiful thing. There's not one way to do it.
No pun intended. There's more than 2 ways to do it.
There's 2 ways. Even more. Long Island.
Maybe even 91 ways.
Exactly. 91 right now on the defensive end. 6.5 minutes until we crown a champion. Possibly some extra time, of course.
Two-way looking for their first lead here.
In the middle, D'Onofrio rips it wide.
They were tied at 2, have not had a lead here in this championship game.
Took a little bit to get started. Scotty mentioned it at the beginning. Nerves, a big part of this. This is the biggest game of their lives up to this point for a lot of these players. On a big landscape. Wow. Pass inside, gets dropped, picked up. Team 91 trying to get through traffic, an aggressive ride.
Say a lot of traffic. Great job to find some green grass and deliver a pass. Now they got to get across midfield.
Clears have been rough so far for both sides. We've seen so much chaos between the boxes in the midfield. Mollett trying to track it down. There's a whistle, and it's going to go in favor of two-way.
Both teams do still have their one timeout here in our final 5:30.
Oh, come from behind. Yeah, you better say something, guys. You got to speak to your teammates.
Communication.
Bench has to be loud in that situation.
One of the most important things defensively, but offensively, you got to talk too.
It's just in lacrosse, just the same in lacrosse, same in relationships. Communication is the key.
Communication is key. D'Onofrio is taking his defender on a walk. He's got the short stick matchup here.
I like him. He's taking him a lot higher than he needs to go. But, hey, it's hard to stop a dodge when a big boy gets a lot of steam here. He's running right now at him. Might just take the play off here, giving it up. And two-way looks to score here.
A big boy downhill with a full head of steam is not something you love to see as a defender. We've seen D'Onofrio do it a couple times. He has a pair of goals. Shot goes wide. That one coming out. Twig of Getty Inman, 21 in white. There's Fairback with it.
Another nice split.
The fundamentals and the hands on forward Fairback have been so impressive. Here's Tansley.
Again, it just goes back to these kids, probably have had a stick in their hand since they could walk, maybe even before then. Just the lacrosse IQ that a lot of these kids have, the stick skills is just unbelievable. They're so skilled.
Mollett turns, does it again. Pass. Tansley stonewalled by Benway.
Off stick side, too. We had to go over and get that one.
We are getting later in this one. Free ball. Two-way trying to track it down. It's going with 91. Two-way can't believe it.
Two-way gets upset about not a loose ball push there, but the ref's not trying to hear any of it here.
And I know, Nick, you've highlighted the chaos in the middle of the field. Credit the ride there by two-way. The attackman not taking that clear off. And that's what kind of forced that chaos there along the near sideline. Fortunate for Team 91, though, able to scoop up the loose ball, get it across midfield.
Now, this is the type of game that gives me anxiety. A huge game, tied with 3 minutes left. This is what we live for here. I have no arm in the fight, whatever that saying is. I have nothing to do with this game, but I'm getting anxiety just watching these guys play.
Porio takes it behind, has a short stick on the inverted offense. 6-6. Looking for a Lacrosse World Series champion. They had to qualify just to get here to Downington, Pennsylvania. Step down shot saved. A huge one from Grayson Dillon. Outlet pass finds Brooks Barr. Two-way on the fast break.
Unsettled situation
Moves
here.
it once. A second. Fairback! He scores! Two-way. The comeback. They take their first lead of the day.
That's a tic-tac-toe fast break there. I love it. The point man throws it down to the lefty attackman, Fairback, with that deadly left hand, and he deceives the goalie by bringing the stick low, and then he finishes high. Take a look here. He's low, and the goalie bit on the low, and he brought it back high. Love to see that.
They'll be showing this in the film room for years because that is textbook fast break. Make the defender slide to you. You find the guy that the slide came from. Or if there was a recovery slide, you find that guy, and that's exactly what two-way was able to do there.
Tack.
Waiting for that toe right there.
Oh, that's
no
not
toe.
it.
Instead, nearly stripped. There's a whistle. Regan.
That's not it right there. They had the fast break, and hey, if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Bring it out here, right? You saw 91 try to swim over that double team. No, just relax. Live to see another day here. No rush.
Fourth quarter, a smart timeout here from Team 91. 1 minute and 46 seconds on that clock. Like I said, the official time is on the field, and we're trying to coordinate that to the best of our ability, so we'll make sure you are as updated as possibly can be. But right now, 7-6, and if you're just joining us, Team 91 started off, they had a 5-2 lead at one point. Since then, it's been a 5-1 run for two-way, and we got 1 minute 45 left to go. We're in for a fantastic finish, but right now, Team 91 with the ball coming out of the timeout. What is most important for them right now, Scotty?
I think 91 just needs to look for a decent shot. Now, nerves are going to play a factor in this one, right? Where some kids are going to want to be that person that's to shoot the ball, and some kids are going to want to defer it here. Now, it's up to the players over here on two-way or on 91 to show if they want it. But, guys, there's more than enough time to score in this game.
Here's Reggie Wenk up top, number 2 in the dark blue for Team 91 from Long Island. They beat Long Island Express. Denahan, shot, it gets off the tip of the stick. Grayson Dillon making the save.
Unbelievable save. Nice shot there, too.
Tab that one and remember that save after 1 minute 30 or so here.
These are big-time players right now. Brody Morrow. Physical.
It's great defense.
Split dodge. To the right hand, Porio. Gets it away. Step down shot, high bouncer. Soars wide from Luca Rip. Getting down to 1 minute. Under 60 seconds to play. Denahan loses it. Great defense on the strip. Miles Marshner trying to pull it down. Denahan gets it back. Aggressive. Just trying to find free space. Regan. Open. Another save, I believe. Regan didn't find it. It deflects wide. Doesn't go out. Kept in by Team 91. 33 seconds. Running to track it down. Picked up Harry Lamb. Still free. And now Team 91 takes it off the ground.
Cyclones have no timeouts. Two-way does have one timeout here.
Picked up. D'Onofrio can't track down the ground ball. Still free. Marshner now with it for two-way. He chucks it up.
Oh, my God.
Team 91 gets it back now. Chaos here in Pennsylvania. Another throw. This time two-way does get it. And time winding down. And it is two-way lacrosse. Your 2025 Lacrosse World Series champions. A king has been crowned.
Absolutely unbelievable game. That last minute was complete, utter chaos over there. Oh my goodness. Happy to see two-way take this one away, especially after losing against Express North a couple years ago. They deserve it. Good for them. Happy for them.
What a contest. And if you look at it for two-way, again, Nick mentioned it, trailing 5-2 early in the third quarter, start at half number 2. But for two-way, a 5-2 advantage in half number 2. And that's how you get it done, 7-6 win.
You see the emotions there, the joy from two-way the respect as well from Team 91. And shout out to Team 91, the parents, everyone, for what they accomplished, especially the players and the coaches being able to get to this point. But it is two-way lacrosse that gets the win. Scotty, any final remarks from here in Downingtown, Pennsylvania?
A tale of two halves here. You watched 91 completely take over the first half, but two-way showed they're a second half team to be reckoned with. They absolutely went off here, and we'd be wrong to not mention Ford Fairback for doing what he did in that second half. That third quarter was unbelievable, and some of his fourth quarter takes were what led two-way to a victory.
So that is all here from Downingtown, Pennsylvania, at least for me, Scotty, and Ryan Holsebos. We appreciate you watching, but you can stay tuned to see the championship coverage and see two-way hoist the trophy. We appreciate you joining us. For our entire crew, Ryan Holsebos, Lax Guy Scotty, I'm Nick Kloss. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.